Welcome everyone to the Island Life podcast, where we journey onto the island of discovery to relive some of the best and worst moments of Survivor. My name is Will, an experienced Survivor fan, 48 seasons deep, and I will be your guide. And joining us on this special two-person adventure is our rising Survivor fan with 12 seasons under her belt. And
Hello, we are back.
yes, we are rocking and rolling through this season, and things are heating up in multiple ways. I think there's like you made a comment a couple times that you really wanted people not to like each other. Well, you've certainly gotten your wish.
For sure. They've been there's been some drama of these 2 episodes that we watched, especially when it comes to Jonathan. Last episode, Jonathan, wait, no, this episode, sorry. Last episode, sorry, Jonathan has been in the other team, and then, it's kind of crazy when you would think with Mutiny, he betrayed the 4, right? And then he's off to the other one. He would just commit to being that, in the other crew. You would not think he would be switching back and forth. It's kinda crazy to see that.
He had been playing a dangerous game and doubling down on more dangerous games. And I don't know, like there comes a point in all of this where eventually I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what the right answer is. But really the right answer was not to get yourself in the situation in the first place.
Yeah, he's stuck in a really tough spot because I feel like he is not really liked either way. No matter what, he is not he in this episode you see him kind of getting annoyed with his crew because there is Adam, Candace, and Parvati, Nay, who's not really doing a whole lot. He in the beginning of the episode, he takes it on his own, being telling Nate to get water, and he's like, these youngins are not doing anything, which is kind of true in a way. He's fishing, he's doing the stuff and literally every single time I see Adam, he's, just perched there, lying down, or just sitting up eating a coconut. I feel like there are more scenes of Adam lying down flat, cuddling with either Candace or Parvati than anything else. And, I would be upset too, honestly. I wouldn't show it like Jonathan is, however, I would be upset. I get that.
Yeah, it has become a problem. You're right. The first thing in episode 11 uh that goes through, which was called "Why Would You Trust Me?" Uh
No, okay.
it the first thing, the tribes are still two tribes, and Jonathan's he's half of him is still feeling good because as in his words, 3 people have been voted off of this new tribe, and it hasn't been Candace and him. Unfortunately, he keeps referring to himself and Candace as if there's like a duo alliance here, and he's still wrong about that.
I
And
don't know why he thinks they're a duo.
but yeah, but ultimately the half of that is right, where he hasn't been voted out, so he's doing something right. And he's finally he's old. I think he said he regrets it, and I think he thinks he made the wrong move in his heart of hearts, but he's trying not to think about it. What's done is done, making the best out of a bad situation. And if you recall, his only strategy after being on this new tribe was be an ultra provider to make them feel like he's too valuable to be voted off. That's what he wanted to do, and that's what he's basically done, which is what makes his frustrations a little hard to swallow that you mentioned, because this is kind of what you set up for yourself. You set up a
That's
situation where
fair. Mhm.
you're waiting on them. So of course,
Mhm.
like now they're enjoying you get doing everything for them.
That's true. It was the only reason, his reason to stay, or to make him be for them to have him stay here, so it makes sense, but it's there's only so much you can provide. It feels like he's just doing it all, and I would feel so annoyed if I was him, so I completely get it, even though he's the one that's "Oh, I wanna be useful, so this is his ploy," but right now at this time, he's probably over it, you can only keep a facade for so long.
Right, right, and I imagine at the time, the plan is whenever we merge, because they actually were predict you remember the last 2 episodes we watched, they were predicting that that message in a bottle was gonna be, "It's time to merge," so they're already thinking about the merge. So he's like, "Okay, well, if we merge, we're 5, and as long as I stick with these 5, then, we'll get out the other 4, and at that point, Candace and I will do something hopefully for us 2 together." That's probably what he's thinking.
Uh, yeah.
But then, they all show up for the next challenge, but surprise, it's the merge, and Jeff kinda throws it out kinda quickly too, "Yep, it's here's some, paint, here's some here's some, thing and, oh, yeah, some new buffs, you guys are merged."
Yeah, it's so, like, anticlimactic in a way. I also feel like no one is as hyped as I thought. I don't know. I feel like usually with the merge, they're like, "Yeah, we're merging," because it's like, "Finally, we made it." Because I think usually with merge, it's like you made it to the jury, but the jury has been ongoing for the past 3 votes, so I guess not so exciting, but, oh, there's a lack of a oomph, a little sparkle to this merge. It was so like, "Here's some planes, here's some flag, oh, here's some new buffs," and in my mind, I'm like cleaner, original color new buffs? Like, what's going on?" And then I realized they're new colors, and they're making their own tribe name. Like, Jeff doesn't even have one. He's just like, I didn't expect to be making like 4 tribes, then to 2, then this. So you make your own. You're on your own, guys.
Yeah, in fact, go pick a beach, go do this, uh, and then they finally get excited when it's revealed that there's some food for them and
Yes,
drinks, and then they
that's
had
true.
this usually, it is supposed to be kind of a celebration of the merge but specifically a celebration with food. That is what it's been for a long time, uh, which I think is why people, at least originally, were excited about the merge because it meant food,
Oh, that
um,
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I
and
thought
you're but
usually with the merge, it's like if you win, you get the merge meal, or like there's usually like something you
well,
have to.
in
No,
in present
everyone
in
gets it.
present day,
Oh, fair.
there's in the new era, before the merge, there's earn the merge, and if you
Mm,
earn the merge, you also get the merge feast, and everybody else is left in limbo, not having food, not having a buff, and being vulnerable and tribal until I think, like, last season, Jeff's like, "Here's the big twist, only one person gets to be immune," which is just regular
yeah.
that's just an immunity challenge,
Like,
but whatever, Jeff.
okay, cool.
Uh but yeah, so they are merged. Ituranga, I think they named themselves.
Yes, they mix
They
the 2 names together, I think.
oh no, Itutanga, with a T.
Oh,
Itutanga.
Tonga. Haitu Tonga.
With black buffs, which is pretty rare. Uh, I can barely remember any times that the
You
buff
know,
color was
you're
black.
right. That's true. I mean, they did use a lot of colors with the 4 tribes, so there's only so many colors they got. They need a pink tribe. I have yet to see a pink tribe. I know there is. I'm pretty sure I saw like a stat, but it's very low, I think. I might be wrong. Fact check me on that.
That
But
could be
I
cool for
thought there
the
was
stats of
pinky.
all colors,
Yes, because I feel
all
like
time
yellow,
challenge
red, and
performance.
blue are like so common, and then you never really see a pinky.
Yeah, I don't remember how many colors have always been used, but the primary colors are definitely the most common. Um, so as a merge tribe, they're all together again. It is definitely pretty awkward, but we got people drinking to help with that, and everything
That's
on the boat.
true. That's true.
Um, and even Jonathan. So these 2 episodes are all about Jonathan, and already the confessionals we get from Jonathan, he's already mad at his new group of 5 from them just celebrating on the boat. So even as
Yeah.
early as that, he's got complaints.
Yeah, he's annoyed with them from the get-go. He's not into them, especially Adam. I feel like Adam and him do not click well. With Adam, like, all drunk and stuff, he's like, "Oh, you guys just eating and throwing up, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, and it's but for now, that's all in confessional. So airing your grievances is on in confessionals, no harm, no foul. Of course, he will go on to express them outside of confessional, but for now, he's okay. Um, and with everyone mingling together, we do eventually get a big conversation between Yule and Jonathan.
Mhm.
The first of a couple conversations, but this one is because what Yule's doing is he's talking to his actually he's really talking to just Becky at first, but ultimately he's thinking about his group of four and saying we're in trouble. If they all vote five together, then either they vote for one of my allies and then they're gone, and then we're only three left, or they vote for me and I have to use my idol, but now I'm vulnerable. It'll be at that point, it's 4 versus 4, and it's kinda chaos. Like, is there a way
Mhm.
out of this? And he's determined the way out of this is to get one of the 5 to vote with them, and the only person there's any chance of that happening is with Jonathan. So he goes back to talk to Jonathan and it's like, "Hey, I just wanna talk if there's any way we might be able to work together. Do you see any possibility?" And then Jonathan answers, honestly, says, "I it's probably not. I don't really see it." And actually, and both Yule and Jonathan tend to speak very clearly and explain why they think something. So in this case, Jonathan explains, "I don't think Ozzy would ever trust me. I don't think the girls would trust me. And in fact, I don't know why you would trust me. So
Yeah.
ultimately, I think I like what he's saying is like I'm gonna be vulnerable down the line even if I go with you this time. So it doesn't make sense for me."
Yeah, which makes complete sense. I get what he's saying because he's like, he's gonna be in a bad spot. If he leaves them, they're in a freak out. And why are you even trusting me? I feel like this is a trap. Like, feels like in a smart way, you shouldn't trust me. You should ask someone else. Which is fair. But I do think that he explaining it right, and then Yule kind of explains it even, and in terms of like, he wants to work with him and even tells him a big secret, him having the idol, which is crazy. I
Yes,
was like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing it. You're doing it." And he
because
uses that to build trust.
yes, because but at first he's just hypothetically,
Yeah.
if I had this, like, what would you do?
Yes.
And because everyone's kind of being very upfront and honest here, Jonathan Teeman's like, well, hypothetically, in that scenario, I think I'd have no choice but to work with you. But at that moment, he doesn't think he actually has the idol.
No, no, but the way he's saying it is pretty much saying like, hypothetically, but in a way like, "But I do." And
Yeah.
it's just the way it's said was like, I I'm happy that Yule did it. I think it was smart of him because when Jonathan's, like, so upfront being like, "Hey, hypothetically, if you had it, then yeah, there it puts me in no choices besides to vote with you," because his mindset is if they vote for Yule and Yule use his thing, he believes that all of them are gonna vote for Jonathan. Like, Jonathan's like, "I'm gonna go home." So his logic is go siding with them so he doesn't go home. He could stay for another day. Um which is like, I feel like in a way I agree with, but I also don't. But I feel like if I was Jonathan, knowing where I'm at right now, I'd rather trust Yule over, like, Adam's group any day. I know it's, like, not the greatest with Mutiny, but I feel like if I was Jonathan, I feel like I have a better chance with these guys than I do with the new guy. I don't think like, I don't understand in what way any player would feel like they would be better as a group than a throuple like Adam, Parvati, and Candace. Like, I would be like, "Yeah, I'm not bothering them. They could do their own thing."
Is that the official term for 3 people in a
Yes, they're
some
a
kind of relationship?
throuple. Yes, they
The
are total
throuple,
throuples.
that's gotta be, like, pretty progressive. I don't remember when, like, thruples were, like, started being accepted, but
I don't know, and I feel like it's kind of like I kinda wish there was more tea, though. I kinda wish Candace was like, "I can't believe Adam was cuddling with Parvati," or Parvati did the same. So now it makes me wonder, like, maybe there is some sorta understanding that, "Hey, while we're in this island, let's all have a good time," you know? Who cares who's cuddling who? Let's just cuddle for some warmth and enjoy life. So because I feel like if they were truly in a relationship kinda thing, truly in a true throuple, this, it wouldn't be like that.
I don't know anything about this, so I have no experience, but I did wonder, like ultimately, no one seems mad at each other. In fact, Candace at one point in the next episode was just joking about it, joking about, oh, like you haven't been giving me my amount of cuddling today. So clearly, they're all fine with each other regardless.
Which is
So
crazy. I can't.
um, I thought about doing it off the island, but maybe that's a little too
Off the island
controversial.
talk, would you do a no, I'm kidding. That would be a crazy off the island talk, but I'll be honest with you, I personally wouldn't do one, you know? That's my off the island thing. I don't think I would do a throuple because just like in this relationship, there is a set that is closer than the other, okay? And that leads to jealousy. That would lead the third person to not feel the same way. Jealousy, spiraling, not good things. I would be very unwell. Now, am I against triples? No. I'm very open to people that are into it. Or for me personally, it's a no. You know, in this relationship, you already see Candace and Adam. They are closer than Adam and Parvati is. And Parvati and Candace, I mean, I don't know how they what their preferences are per se. It could be that they go for both. That's completely fine, but it's also like I don't know though. But it's like nobody's upset in this relationship, I guess. No one's upset, which
Right.
is good, which is what you want. But in a real world situation, they're going to be upset. Someone's going to be upset. Someone in Parvy's situation would be upset that Adam is putting more love and attention to Candace. Like they full blown made out. Like, this is they're not
Multiple
just like
times. So
yeah, multiple times, like and then part of is just like, "Yeah, you're just a girl." I kinda cuddle and, like, maybe touch a little bit, you know? It's just like it's different. So, and the off the island part is I personally would not do a throuple. I just don't think it would be for me.
I
What about
think
you, Will?
I think even the side, like, assuming it's always not gonna be balanced, even the side that's has more attention, wouldn't you think they would always be wondering like, "Hmm, but what if they ever don't give me the most attention?" And then,
Very
like, I think they'd
true.
always be suspicious.
That's true.
Um, no, I feel like that situation is, like, doomed to disaster. Like, at some point, will blow up in some drama.
Mm-mm.
But I but
Now,
I think but I think
like
but I think being like, in this case, the only thing we've been shown is Adam in the middle and then 2 other people, rather than, like, a balance, like, all 3 people are with all 3 people.
mhm.
So, I'm sure if we asked Adam, "Yeah, it's great. Love being a thruple." Like, that's an easier, especially you're on, like, when you're on the island, maybe you have the get out of jail free card, like, "Oh, I was just on the island, nothing mattered, it doesn't count." Whereas,
Yeah,
like, once you're
what
back
happens in
in
the island stays
reality,
in the
it's like
island or something.
yeah, even though, like, filmed on TV for millions to see, but
Yeah, right. You know what? A plot twist would be Adam is in a relationship. Like, that would be crazy. Like, if there
that
was a, like, I don't know, like a loved ones, and then you find out Adam's married with 2 kids or something, and you're like,
oh,
"Oh, I knew I couldn't trust you. I knew I couldn't trust
unless
you."
unless it was the 2007 open relationship, and then the the significant's like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's fine, we talked about this." It's like, "Oh,
You know what? And that's fair, and I
yeah."
respect that. If that's true, that's fair, that's fair. But what if Candace didn't know? And now she's shooketh.
Ooh,
She's like, "Ooh, I thought we are gonna you've been
ooh,
telling me once we get off this island, we're together, la, la, la," and then it wasn't true.
ooh, now that, this is I wonder what fan fiction this would be.
That's true, that's true. See, this is gets I wonder if it ever gets that messy. I doubt that. I doubt all this thing is going on. I feel like, truthfully, right now, it's that they're in an island, whatever, they have a little, like, what we call, like, a little fling, you know? They're just kissing, they're just, like, you know, there's no other thing besides physical. There is no other thing going on. Because I truly don't think that Candace finds Adam mentally attractive, you know? Like, mentally? I don't know, like, he's physically to her attractive potentially, but I don't think they are in the same wavelength per se. Watch them actually be married right now and have 5 kids
Yeah,
or
no,
something, I don't know.
I can't reveal the information to you
You
yet,
can't, you can't. I just
but there
don't
is an
find
answer.
Adam that good.
Adam well, like, he finally, like, was a participant in the story because 'Cause like, funny enough, usually the gender role's reversed, but, like, he has just been the side piece this whole time. Like, he's been uh he's the significant like, Candace is actual main character, and he's just the partner, the significant other.
That's true, that's
So,
true.
which is a cool gender reversal, but ultimately, still, he's had no story until you, like, won a challenge, so that's good. It's nice. Um, but yeah, that is our diversion into the love life of our castaways.
Yes, yes.
Um, which ultimately, I mean, it plays a role because it has it has built a alliance of 3 people, which we'll get to. Um, what I really wanna know is and we're gonna combine both episodes here in this conversation. The Jonathan talk. What is a Jonathan to do in this situation? With hindsight now, he what he has to think about is Yule at first might and eventually does have the idol. If Yule does get the most votes, someone else is going home, and that someone could be him. Yule didn't flat out say that, but it's very possible. It would be a risk you'd have to take into account. But Yule points out that uh, Jonathan could be buddy buddy to them just to get them to vote for someone other than Jonathan, and then Jonathan still votes with his friend with the other alliance. Yule has to use the idol, and then I don't know, like Candace goes home, and now Jonathan has not betrayed his allies, but he has gotten rid of the idol, and now it's a 4-on-4 battle. So this is a very tricky situation. So what do you think about what Jonathan would eventually do?
He's so stuck, man. He's so stuck. I I think a crazy so we're talking about, like, what should Jonathan do after the 2 episodes we've watched, right?
Well, what do you think about what he's done?
I think well, I'm a little biased because you obviously know I like the other 4 other OG team of Ozzy, Yul, Becky, and Sundra. So I like what he's doing. I'm all for it, you know? I'm all for him going with that team with Yul, but I think because that team is so stuck together, Jonathan as a player for Jonathan, there is no I just how he's so stuck though. He's literally hated on both sides. He cannot play he's trying to be like Andy from 47 and it's just not kicking the way it's not hitting. It's not hitting the same. He's slipping around a lot. He's doing a lot of these like plays that are not really respected with this crowd. You know, it's seen more as a betrayal. It seems more quote unquote self-centered, well, self-focus, selfish attempts. I honestly think Jonathan's over. Like he's not gonna win. Well, I don't think there's no way he's gonna win at all. I think the only way he does would be if he like changes and pulls in a new alliance altogether. Like he like takes out Ada, whatever, and Parvati's on her own. So he grabbed Parvati, he grabs Sundra, I don't know, he grabs Ozzy. You know, suddenly they're tight formation and then they take out Yule. That would be his only winning way. But that includes him to change his personality a little bit. He could be a little bit more vocal about things. He could be a little bit more, you know, not the most likable dude. So, it's kinda hard for that to happen. So, I don't I think right now he's just gonna coast until he doesn't. He's gonna coast until he starts sinking because
But
he's gonna go home.
you're talking coast. Isn't there an argument that it would have been a lot easier and a less bumpy ride to coast with that group of 5 and not
I mean, that's
vote
true.
for Nate, just who they eventually vote for?
That's true. That's true. I think oh, now I think about it. Yeah, I feel like if he wasn't getting pulled from the whole "you'll have an idol, yada, yada, yada." I think what he should have done, before so we're not talking about after those 2 votes, we're talking about this episode before Nate went home. I think if he was stuck at that situation, he should have told his team, "I know Yul has the vote. Has the idol, sorry. So we should vote for someone else, but there." So then Yul doesn't know and can't play his idol because he can't just play his idol willy-nilly. He can't just use it for anybody. He has to use it for the person that has it with them. So I would be like, let's take down Ozzy. Like Ozzy is that's the thing. Actually, now that I think about it, why does nobody put anything on Ozzy? Ozzy is such a challenge threat. He is a challenge beast. He would be taken out so fast in the new era. He would be
Well,
gone.
I will. Well, so at least in the episodes we watch, um, there was a disagreement between some people on whether to target Ozzy or Yule. Um, Jonathan, I think, was someone who
Oh,
wanted to
right.
target Ozzy. Um, so people were worried about the brains of Yule, and then other people were worried about the brawn of Ozzy. But that storyline got cut off because Ozzy would win the challenge, and we'll give the challenge some fanfare just real quick. The immunity challenge was get a grip. It is the challenge where
That's
there's a
nice.
giant pole and you hold on to that pole and hang on as long as you can. Um, you've definitely seen that a couple times now.
Oh, for sure,
And
yeah.
um, when we were watching, you did make a point that you've noticed that the women tend to do well in these, which did prove true, but not good enough as Ozzy would outlast all the women. But like all the women basically outlast everybody, all the rest of the guys. Uh, and that gave Ozzy and very quietly that probably was important because that took another possibility. Like that simplified the math for what Yule was trying to say and what Jonathan was trying to say. Because you brought up an interesting point. Could Jonathan have been very upfront with if you at the point where Yule eventually says, "I have it," so now Yule saying, rather than being hypothetical, he's saying, "I do have it."
Mhm,
Jonathan could
mhm.
tell his tribe and persuade them to vote against someone else. The the someone else that some of them might have wanted was Ozzy. But without Ozzy being available, that means he's persuaded them to vote for either Becky or Sundra.
Which is still a fine vote, that still takes down the numbers. I think if Jonathan was thinking, in that realm, he didn't have to, um work with the other team because it would like, his biggest fear was that they're gonna vote for him. Like, he was gonna be the second one, and when Yule uses his idol, it's gonna be him going home. But who said Yule has to go home, Jonathan? Like, you literally could pick someone else, and Yule can't use that idol. And so you wouldn't go home because 'cause you're the second one, and you guys have the number. So I think in the end of the day, it was smarter if Jonathan just came out to his team and was like, "Hey, Yule told me that he has the idol. I trust him. I really think he does." And by saying that and putting that piece of information, it earns respect of like, hey, we can play with Jonathan in this game. He is straightforward with us and he proves that he wants to work with us. So I but again, I actually hate Adam, Candace, and Parvati so much. I don't mind
Yeah.
any of them going home. Like they're just annoying to me at this point. Like these two episodes really solidified how annoying they were. Like, I just like, when I see them, they're just like they're giving, like, mean girl guy vibes, like, the very, like, mean people in the cafeteria just eating your food and just don't wanna listen to you, and then just shock Pikachu when you're, like, telling them things, and then later on it's true, and then it's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me?" So I just, like, I didn't like them, so I am happy. I wish that they took down Adam or, Candace or Parvati, but it's fine. I feel bad for Nate. And they had to go home with it because I was like, "Damn, they really came for Nate." I was like, "Wait, why? Why Nate? Come for the other guys." Because I low key feel like Nate was in a position in terms of he wants to stick with those people. And even during that time, like Adam was mentioning how like Nate is being weird, like what's going on and stuff like that. And Nate was kind of secretly kind of working with Ozzy. But I kinda
Right.
saw, like, a slight, like, crack in their relationship where I thought that if Nate stayed a little longer, I feel like Nate would work really well with the other group, like, better than Jonathan is working with, but I think the tug with Nate is that he has Parvati that he thinks that he's closer to, even though I really don't think so. I've never like, I don't know. Anyways,
I mean,
um,
with I wasn't seeing any quadruples.
nope, no, I do not see that. I feel like it's just Nate on the sideline watching from the outside while they are under the tent, like, cuddling, all 3 of them. I don't know. I just feel like Nate, without Parvati, could have played well, but he just I guess those webs, in a way, worked a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because back to Jonathan, as he's trying to do the calculations here, there comes a point where he's leaning towards voting with Yule and the rest of them, and he starts saying, "Well, I don't want to target Adam or Candace. Candace because he still believes they're an alliance for some reason, and Adam because he feels that Adam treated him well." Funny, which is funny because they had whatever relationship they had, it's gone.
Yeah.
Uh, and he'll eventually say like he wants to target Nate because he just doesn't know him. So get rid of the people you don't know because that's a variable. And Nate has not made any effort to get to know him either. But Nate also figured he had no need to because they're a group of 5, and eventually, once they're down to the final 5, they'll get rid of Jonathan. So he just didn't feel like it was necessary, and that left him in danger. But the thing is, if there's problems with any other plan Jonathan might have gone. If they successfully vote, the 5 of them, if they vote for someone other than Yule, let's say Sandra, uh, Sandra would be eliminated. But because of how this idol works, the idol just doesn't get used at all, which means Yule still has it. So they gotta deal with that eventually, somehow. Because we talked about it in the episode, there's no tricking someone to waste their idol. The idol only gets used correctly or not at all.
Just crazy. I wonder, like, when they switch that out. This is so powerful. Like, having the idol feels so powerful to me right now. At this moment, this season, like, Yule has all the power because I feel like people are afraid to use it on him because once you're gonna use it on him, he's gonna use it. Like, why would anybody be like, "Hey, you're
Right.
going home. You wanna use your idol or not?" He's gonna use it. So it's
Well,
scary to use it.
Jeff almost phrases it like you have to use your idol, which I know sounds odd. Why
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
you? But like, I guess if you wanted to quit, it's like, well, too bad because your idol saves you. You're not allowed to quit.
Oh, no. Austin would never. Austin would eat
Yes.
that idol up. "Oh, not me. Not
Just
me,
throw
Jeff."
into the ocean.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, go yeah, see, exactly.
uh, but yeah, there's that scenario. So you would so that's just hang up there. The other problem, and maybe Jonathan's right about this. He might feel he can't convince them to vote for anyone other than Yule.
Mm.
Like if he's worried there's nothing he could say to make them change their mind, well then he can't do anything about that.
You know
The
what?
only
That's
thing you could
fair.
do the only thing maybe you could do in that case is persuade Yule's group to vote for someone else, like we were talking about before. So then, but in that scenario, like maybe that's the answer, which means you're sacrificing, let's say, Parvati, because then you would say, okay, Yule, I'm with you, and I think it's in our best interest to vote for Parvati. And then to his group, he tries to persuade them that they need to vote for someone other than Yule. He knows he's gonna fail, but he wants it said. Eventually, he gives in, lets them vote for Yule, and he can vote for Yule too. Uh, Yule has to use his idol, and then Parvati goes home. So now it's 4-4, but he can say, see, I tried to tell you guys. I tried.
Yes.
Let's work
Yeah.
together to like survive this." Maybe that's the only scenario. Of course, he has now betrayed those 4 people a second time by doing that, because that now he'll have mutinied against them and lied to them in this pivotal vote after that the merge.
Again, he's stuck in a tough spot, this is, Jonathan ain't gonna win. That's the other thing. If he wins, I would be shocked. I would be like, "What is everyone smoking right now? Did he insert some toxin in the fishes that he caught and was like, 'Vote for me or else no antidote'?" Like, there's
Well,
no way he's winning.
well, what he yeah, and so what he actually does, he interestingly, so he does talk to his tribe, and he does try to persuade them to vote for someone other than Yule, but he does not tell them that Yule revealed he had the idol. He just said he might have the idol,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
his tribe just does. It's not quite they don't believe it. It's more like they don't care to take him seriously. Like, oh, this is just Jonathan making things overcomplicated.
Yeah, they were just like, "No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You silly boy. No, he doesn't."
And Jonathan brings a good point. Like he doesn't just say it out of nowhere. He's saying he's one of the few people because they send Candace so often. There's only so many people that even been to Exile Island.
Yeah.
So
True.
therefore he might have it. But I guess his relationship just isn't strong enough with this new tribe. So and by that logic, they could think he has the idol then. And as a result, they just don't they don't listen to him there. And he decides at that point he hates them anyway. He's gonna side with his old tribe members. And he selects Nate, like we said, because he doesn't really know him. And it will be 5 votes Nate, 4 votes Yule, and Nate goes home. Your instincts
Oof.
were right. You were going to switch from Nate, but instead you stuck with him,
Hey,
and
I
thus
stick with my people.
you uh lost another
I
castaway.
did, I did. It's okay. It's okay. We still have Yule. Yule, stay strong, please. It's gonna be okay, Yule.
so so I guess you're at this. So now, um, you do have the option. You can, well, yeah, you need a replacement.
I do.
So the next question is for now, but you'll aside. We'll get to him in a bit. Uh, is there someone among the rest remaining cast that you believe uh is the most likely to win it all?
I think ooh, let me think of like the ones. Okay, I'm gonna say out of all of them, I think it would be Ozzy because Ozzy has a great social game. And in terms of he's really good with Yule, and he was good with Nate. So I feel like Nate, because now I have to think about the jury, because I think out of all of them, Ozzy has had the most, like, blank slate from everybody. Nobody hates Ozzy in the jury that I could think, and he's not really causing anything. He's not, like, considered, like, the guy making all the stuff and, like, making the calls in terms of, which is a good and bad thing, but a bad thing in terms of, "Oh, you're just gonna slowly let us go," and all that stuff. So I think he is reputable and, like, respectable in terms of a physical aspect. He plays really well. I mean, even Jeff calls him the dolphin. I mean, he plays super well, and if Yule gets voted out per se, he would definitely get Yule's vote. So I think Ozzy is really good. I think Becky is stuck in terms of it's giving Camilla Kyle vibes, in which Becky is very loyal to Yule, which is great. However, I don't see her winning if Yule's also gonna be there, because it's gonna be not her game, it's Yule's game, you know? So, unless Becky takes out Yule, I don't see Becky winning. I don't see Becky winning at all.
Yeah, we are waiting for that Becky confessional where she explains how she intends to win.
Yes,
Because I do
because
feel
right
like eventually
now
we did get that from Camilla.
yes, we did, but I don't see it right now, like, at all, actually. Actually, you don't really see Becky much in conventionals in general. I actually don't see her there.
Yeah, it's very
Anyway,
rare.
so my thing is, yeah, Becky has been kind of, Becky and Sundra has been very faded in the background. So is Ozzy a little bit, actually. They really fade out. Like, this is very like
It,
the
it
three,
might
there's Jonathan and Yule.
yeah, well, it might be because especially these episodes with the Jonathan show. in fairness.
Yeah.
Uh,
I I don't know, I just don't see that much, but I can't say it with heart that it is Becky or Sandra. So I will pick Ozzy as my pick.
Ozzy, okay, okay. Farewell, Nate. The, would you be pleased to see Nate return someday?
I actually think Nate played a decent game. I think so. He was fun. I think his ending statement of him like yelling at
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan and then going off at him. Like it's funny because usually it's like it's a great learning experience or like I had a really good time. You're like, oh, they bested me. It's oh well, it was a game. But instead, he came for Jonathan's throat. He was like, I knew it. You are a traitor. You would do this to me. And it's true. Like if only they voted for him yeah, like the last vote. Oh, I knew Jenny would ride with them, but Jonathan, you don't know. So I it's true. So I think I would like Nate to come back. I think Nate would be a fun one to see again.
And I quote, uh, and remember, not my words, so don't come at me. You are a dirty, stanky, whack fruitcake who sold me out and sold out our tribe when we brought you in.
Yeah, it's the fruit cake is crazy. Oh my god.
So one
Uh,
person will not be voting for Jonathan if Jonathan were to be at the end, at least at
yeah,
this
for
point.
sure. Yeah. Jonathan won't be getting any votes in the end.
I mean, maybe Brad likes him. I don't know. Maybe.
Who's Brad? Oh, no, I was gonna say, yes, I do remember Brad now. I was like, who is Brad? Nah, I don't
He's
think
good at
Brad likes him.
Brad, good at puzzles. He says he's a puzzle beast.
Right, right, he doesn't wanna swim, yes, I remember that.
Hmm. Um, so that was the end of episode 11, which brought us to episode 12. Essentially, all storylines just continue. This episode was called You're a Rat.
Oh, no way, that was the title?
Said by several people. In short, Jonathan's hated by the remaining members of the old Raro tribe. Uh, Candace and Adam and Parvati not happy. Parvati specifically could not contain herself. Then, like when they get back from tribal, and she's yelling at Jonathan. Jonathan actually like there's a point where he tries to like explain what he did, but and at that point he does say he had like he's showed me he has the because at that point no one knows he has the idol because he didn't need to use it. And Jonathan says he has the idol, and Parvati still doesn't believe him. So maybe that means that even if he had told them the day before, it wouldn't have helped.
Yeah, I could see that actually.
Now, obviously, they have even less reason to believe you when you just betrayed them. But
That's true, like, okay, you'll or, like, you're just saying it to, like, save yourself or, like, I don't believe you.
the biggest thing at this on this episode was well, first of all, Survivor auction is
Yes.
back.
Yay!
Everyone
Although,
got five
not
hundred
enough
dollars.
things. Yep,
Yeah, we didn't get shown much. I mean, they only got so much time to devote to this auction, like so much airtime. So there might have been more stuff, but the only stuff we saw was hot dogs, fries, and beer that Jonathan got. Uh, there was a bubble bath and a slice of chocolate cake that Parvati won. A mysterious note that was described as power in the game that Becky got, and it turned out to be send someone to Exile Island immediately.
and
And they
take all their money.
oh yes, of course, and take all their money,
That's
and
the
what do you
best part.
know? Candace again
Ooh,
to
yes.
exile. Like now, okay, this time do we finally have some sympathy for for poor Candace?
No, no, I don't. Because, I don't think Okay, so if it's she's constantly being pulled and she wants to play the game and work on her social aspect, social game and winning people, then sure, I feel a little bit bad because it does suck in that position. But girl just wants to cuddle her man, like all she wants is a hug from her man's Adam. So, girl, you could do that outside of this island. That's just me personally. I feel like I have no sympathy for Candace. I have no sympathy for her. She is not I don't know, she's not that girl for me. And unfortunately Parvati too. I kinda sucks because I thought I would like her, but I don't really care for her as a player. Is this controversial to not like these 2 girls? Maybe, but I hate Adam more. So I might dislike those 2, but I hate Adam the most. So I wonder if that's controversial. Like people can have a love for Adam and going like crazy on the comments right now, but let me know why you like them? Like
Well,
enlighten
and
me.
and the season isn't over. I mean, maybe by the time the season's over, you love all of them. You have to
That's that's
wait for
fair.
all
That's
the
fair.
pieces of the puzzle. I mean, it'll be hard for Candace to contribute now that she has to be silent on the journey,
Yes.
but
I love I just loved, I love that, Yul was, like, pointing at, Candace and Adam, be like, they both have $500 still, and Becky just goes, "Candace." I'm like, "Yes, that's my girl. Let's go."
yeah, and even Yule's like, "Oh, see, like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't I
Yul made
wasn't
a
gonna
face of like,
send
"Wait,
Candace
what?"
to
Yeah,
get."
yeah. He was like, "Oh, wait. Wait a
If
minute."
if there's if there's one criticism of Yule, I think we do have to question if he has enough ruthlessness to, like, get all the way here, um, because he does seem like he's trying to, like, be as nice and reasonable as possible at all times, and there may come points that we kinda saw in this episode at Tribal Council where that's not quite being received
No.
well by the
Yeah.
the others that are like, kinda looking for confrontation.
Yeah, he's very like, very, upright. He's a very, like, honest man and very calm during those discussions, which is very coo I really like it. I think seeing Yul speak is a breath of fresh air, and especially when he did the pole one, and he was talking about the surface area, kinda he had that charm to him, and even Parvy is, like, smart as hot? Like, Parvy is like, "Ooh, let me put my whip to you too, Yul."
But the wrap up the auction, there was a soft serve ice cream machine that you
Ah,
could
I
use
love
until the end
this.
of the auction that Ozzy bought. There was pizza, pepperoni pizza that Jonathan bought. There was, a mysterious item that turned out to be sea cucumber that Sandra won. Don't know if she actually ate that or not. May or may
Yeah,
not.
it's gonna be tough, I don't know.
And then the toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash that Jonathan got as well. Um,
Yeah, kinda lackluster, auction for me. I thought there'll be more food. Even Yule was like, "If that's the last item, I'm gonna jump off a bridge," and it was the last item.
uh, yeah. Um, it's possible that there was more that didn't show to us, but it turned out that like the most interesting thing here was I mean, I guess there was a couple. So we talk about Candace being sent again. Also, Jonathan bought a lot, and it's interesting. Like part of the auction is like the optics and politics of what you're doing, what you're buying, because in order to get these items means that Jonathan outbid multiple people, and those multiple people probably are not happy. And then even at camp, we get see scenes of Jonathan just he just can't keep his mouth shut, just talking about how good the food was and then how it tasted and everything. And then I feel like Yule tried to be helpful where he made a comment of like, yeah, it was hard to sit there and watch other people eat. And most people would be like take that as a sign to stop talking. But
Yeah, yeah.
but Jonathan missed that hint and just kept talking about it. Uh, and it starts building up the idea, like, is Jonathan gonna be such a bother that his new alliance he just joined is gonna feel like they should get him out instead.
It was getting
And
there. High key, they were very annoyed with him. And also, a little off the island talk, I hate when people burp in front of other people. I hate when people burp and blow it at the other person. Nobody wants to smell your burps,
okay,
bro.
but
Sorry.
blowing at it is a little extreme. But like,
Uh,
what do I do? What do I do to prevent that? Like, is it
swallow
like
your burps.
swallow? But then I'm
You
like
could
reabsorbing the gases I just released. That could have unforeseen consequences.
Oh, you're fine. Or,
Mm.
at least burp and then maybe go under your shirt or something or go like behind go like when you sneeze or something like and then if you're going to blow it, please blow it somewhere else. Like it smells gnarly. But anyways, that's my off the island talk. Is that I don't like that. So the fact that when Jonathan did that and I think Sandra or Becky mentioned it, smelling that, I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that must be gnarly." He was like,
Well,
"So the pepperoni?" I'm like, "Bleh, no thanks."
especially because everyone except for Parvati, since she had a bubble bath, must
And
smell
the cake.
horrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So on top of that, already like hygiene is awful for everybody, and also getting burped at stuff.
Yeah, and he's just talking about how full he is, like, "Oh, usually I don't eat like this or eat this much or blah, 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 blah," and stuff. So, it's just kinda like, I don't know. It does, like, kinda rub people the wrong way, especially when you're hungry and you see him, like, he's had a hot dog, fries, beer, a giant pizza to himself. It's like, ugh, he had the most out of this auction. Like, his $500 never ran out, it felt like. And I'm just like, "Ugh, auction, guys, bid." Because this one, I was kinda asking you, I was like, "Oh, is it like the one where the person with the most money ends up losing their vote?" And I'm like, "I didn't hear Jeff say that." And you're like, "No, that doesn't happen." I'm like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Oh yeah, no, this is just spend the money you have. Um, I mean, did you miss there being something more to the auction than just like get some food?
I did. I thought it'll be more fun. It's more, like, thinky. There's more to it. This isn't just get some food off of Jeff, use some money. There was, like, something more to it in a strategic manner of using your money, and, like, I think in the current that he rolls his die and then be like, "There's this much item guaranteed," but then, like, the rest is like well, no, he rolls his die, there's this much items, but you don't see the number, so people don't know. So, I think there's, like it's more fun that way. I think so. What do you think, Will? Do you like that?
I think at the like what they have right now, it doesn't feel natural. It feels like there's like it's clunky. It's not perfect. And I did fib a little bit. This auction did have a non-food item, which was power in this game. Now, I ended up not like eventually the mysterious advantage doesn't work anymore because nobody buys anything except for that. So I do prefer as little extra things I think as possible. Um, I have found it fun to like search for your money. Like I don't know if how I feel about everyone not having the same amount of money, but it is fun to watch them go on the scavenger hunt and like it looks fun. It feels like it is fun to participate in and run around. It gives a storyline of whoever doesn't find anything sometimes. Um, but at least the specific you will lose your vote that I don't like because the last 3 times we've seen it, I think we've seen at there comes a point where whoever has the most money bids all their money, and so it's not an off. It's just random chance of when's the last item. So I've grown to not like that style.
Fair. I agree on that. I think that's true. I do think right now, I mean, I don't know how long this has been going on for but the food auction, but I think it is like a still play on thing and it seems like, from my understanding, it did stop because then I remember in the new era, they were like, "Oh my god, it's back!" So
It's back, yes.
from my understanding, I think it was there, then it stopped, so maybe this new mechanic was a new era thing that, came up then, which I like. I like to see how things work, things didn't work, or things that he put in and how he changed it. Very, very cool. I like it.
Um, so there's two like huge things that happened last. So first of all, the immunity challenge was called Recollection. And this was everyone's gonna be asked questions about what's happened in the season. It would turn out to be questions about challenges. And you need to remember like how many posts were used in this challenge, how many things would need to be broken for that challenge. And then you do arithmetic with those numbers, unlock a key. And it was also we haven't seen this in a bit, but it was the like multi round challenge. Like everyone's in round one, and then the three winners go to round two, and then the one winner wins it all. Uh, and it would be Adam finally winning a challenge. Uh, he gets the job done, and it turns out very important for Adam because his little group of three is in danger, and we end up getting super awkward situation where the thruple is chilling in the like tent or whatever, and they notice that the other five people are eating food that Jonathan caught, and that in a vacuum. So, uh, huge no no. That is like not sharing food. I mean, of course, people are gonna be mad about that. Should not be surprised anyone that you'd be upset if you're basically eating food right in front of me and not giving it to me. But what I didn't expect is like all three of them are mad, but Candace is like, "Don't worry, I'll go over there." It's like, "Oh," and I bet like the other two are like, "Ah, good, she'll." I don't want to be the person to go over there, so like Candace will handle it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be the person to go up there and confront them because yes, you should be sharing your food, but it's like when you're constantly consistently not doing anything for the tribe, you wanna have food, you should work for it a little bit, you know? Like, what are you gonna say to that? Like, if I don't hu if we're not fishing, you're not fishing, where are you getting food? I mean, in the end of the day, you're not gonna get food if you don't try. Like, it's not like she tried and she's bad at it, it's just she's not doing it. She's just laying down, waking up, getting food. So like, I get why I wouldn't wanna share food with you. You know, it's just and also, like, before that, they were yelling at him. Again, I'm not team Jonathan here, but I'm also saying this guy is working his work. He's doing his job as a person, as a member of this tribe. So he's contributing, which I appreciate. But yeah, he's being called a rat by Parvati and Adam. There's a moment where he grabs a coconut and they're like, "Oh, it's Adam." And Adam's like, "I don't want it. It's okay." And then it's just like, "Okay, I mean, all right, that's fine." It's just awkward, you know? And I it's just so awkward. And then the worst part about this whole confrontation is like Yul had this moment of talking to Candace and everybody about Jonathan. And then Candace out of like nowhere just like kind of like puts him in the spot being like, even Yul doesn't like you, or like they don't really like you. All of them don't like you. And la la la. It's like, Candace, you make yourself look bad, like you can't like no one's gonna be able to have a conversation with you without you regurgitating it out. And also they're so I feel like being a couple is such a red flag on Survivor. It's just crazy to see her so outwardly a couple. Like people are just like they're in love, they're together. So I don't know. Candace to me is just there, and this whole confrontation between her and Jonathan and pulling in Yule was just an awkward scenario. Like I would not have confronted them. I don't think it's a good idea. Would you? Like would you do it if you were in Candace's position?
I mean, if I was starving, maybe at some point. I mean, the better move if you're is probably just to ask and then let them be the bad person that tells me no. That's probably better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably don't want to go by myself because now, like, all the heat's on me. And by the way, she would end up being the target. They don't actually give a reason for targeting Candace, but I mean, she's the does seem to be the person who's voicing her anger the most. I guess multiple because now she's made an enemy of Yule too because Yule's been being put in worse and worse situations because of Candace. Now maybe Yule shouldn't. I mean, is this a mistake for Yule? Should he have not even? Because I think we praised Yule before for being able to like and Jonathan for being able to talk through hypotheticals and hear somebody out. But because you'll actually allowed a conversation to happen between Adam, Candace, and Parvati and himself, because they're trying to persuade him to vote for Jonathan, and he gets into a long conversation of why like maybe that would be a good idea. Whether or not he was serious about that, now he's it's not a lie to say he said that. And so it's like maybe he should just have not said it at all. That it's messy. And the at tribal, what it all comes down to is that the smaller group of three, their pitch to Yule, it was an interesting one that I think usually people don't like fans usually do not like this. But what they're basically saying is you vote out Jonathan now, and you're gonna have our vote if we're on the jury. Which would imply if you don't vote Jonathan out, then you will not have our vote if we're on the jury. Uh, so that's a bribery slash blackmail, and we see you'll seriously consider it. And he's talking it out the scenario with Becky, where well, if we do vote out Jonathan right now, we would still have the four of us against the three, so it's not impossible. What did you think of the last ditch effort by the group of three?
They tried it. They tried it. However, like they burned a bridge. Like I think Candace, by outing Yule like this, it burned a bridge. She's upset, but also I feel like her anger also kind of made you a little scared of like, oh no, she's not going to be a happy jury, to be able to vote it out over Jonathan. I mean, at this point, everyone's just like, I can't believe Jonathan's still here, and you're making this happen. You could easily just take Jonathan out and then take us out after. Like it's like you know. So, I would say I think it their last ditch effort didn't work. It just didn't work. They were too aggressive with it, and they're just a bunch of mean people. Those 3 people are mean. Like, part of it's just like, "You could just take them out and then after us take him out first, and then it'll just be bow, 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 me, all of us down," and it's like, "Parvati, can you not?"
So
And it's like, if you don't care, then why do you care? If you're gonna go if Candace is gonna go out and then maybe Jonathan, then you, I mean, in the end of the day, it seems like you stopped playing. Like, to me, by you saying that tells me that you don't deserve to win because you already gave up. You already think it's gonna happen like this, you stop playing. So you're less impressive, and, why are you here? You should just give up then. You should just be like, "Candace, if you wanna cuddle with Adam so much, let me go home first." Like, to me. Is that too I don't know. That's me personally. Just the way she said it, like, I don't know how people are so calm when maybe in that moment I would be quiet too, but in my mind, I feel like if I was playing and she said that and be like, "Then why don't you go home, Parvati?" I mean, it seems like you already know you're gonna go home soon, so pow, 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 you go. Your
right,
turn.
it makes you wonder, you'd like to think, like, they had like, there's a plan, like, the idea would be all three of us survive, Jonathan goes, and then we told them it would just be us, bop, 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 but actually, maybe we'll able to flip somebody, and then we'll be the 4 versus, like, literally just giving up all to just have Jonathan go out now. Uh, Now we didn't actually hear that from them, so we'll see. And now it's only 2, so ultimately, you'll although considers the threat, still chooses to vote against the 3 and vote for Candace, as does the rest of his group, and the 3 of them vote for Jonathan, but Jonathan survives again, and we lose Candace, who, uh, the tribe is, Jeff, asks her to bring him her torch, and I thought there's, like, an allotted time you have to go do that, but apparently that allotted time does not account for goodbye makeout sessions,
Mm-mm.
as Adam and her share a passionate kiss before she has to leave.
I'm glad you had that for you. Love that for you, Candace. I hope you guys live wonderfully together.
I
I don't know.
imagine she is now rooting against Adam so that he gets voted out as soon as possible.
Yeah, right? I mean, Adam's probably like, "All right, vote me out now so I could go to Ponderosa with my girl."
Uh, but yeah, so that leaves, uh, 8 people, right? Or no, or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people left. So all of a sudden, we are close to the end, and on the surface, what we have is a group of 5 against a group of 2. So how the tides have turned, or now the people you like are like a huge majority alliance. Um, so I wonder. So before we wrap up here, oh well, first of all, would you want Candace to make a triumphant return someday?
Ooh, nope. That's a "nar" for me.
Uh,
Nar.
Not
Mm-mm.
even like a Candace and Adam coming back together
Oh
on a
god, no.
season.
Especially no of that. If that is a double no. No, and if Adam leaves next one, nope, I don't wanna see him ever again. No to Adam for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So talking through the people we have left, we can go alphabetically. Um, so Adam, he is coming off a challenge win, so he's proven he can win challenges, and unfortunately, that might be what he has to do the rest of the way to survive. Because as long as that big group's together, he is a cleared. Like if they're choosing between Poverty and Adam, you'd think they would target the bigger challenge threat, unless they end up like hating Poverty. But Jonathan at least seems to hate Adam more than he hates Poverty. Uh, so Adam has a rough road. To his credit, um, Nate clearly like was liking what Adam was saying. So like if Adam were to make it, someone like Nate would vote for him. You'd think Candace's love would extend to voting for Adam as well. So that's someone else who could help. And then it depends how the rest of the game plays out and who else is on the jury of the remaining people. Um, we've already talked about Becky. We're hoping for a confessional where she explains how she's gonna break off from Yule and make her presence known in the game. You've declared Jonathan a 0.0 chance.
Yes.
uh,
No chance.
it's no chance. Okay. Uh, you've now added Ozzy as a potential winner pick. Um, So that'll be interesting. You're right. We didn't really see much of him. He did win that challenge. I think the most dangerous thing for him is something you also brought up, which is he could get targeted for being a challenge threat, and he has now shown he's won a challenge. So at any moment, he could be targeted for that. So that's probably the most dangerous thing for him. Then Parvati, similar to Adam, but a little bit better chances that she does not, shouldn't, you would think she's not the immediate target. And at least, like, she's attempted some strategy in the game, whereas Adam, I don't think, has attempted any strategy in the game.
Yeah, I would give Parvati that. I feel like Parvati has done a little bit of some strategy with, but I also don't find that much from her. Like, I feel like if she did her whole spider web thing a little bit better, that would work, but it just kind of became her spider webs were just Nate and Adam. That was it. She had no other spider webs, really. Nobody really caught on,
Yeah.
and in the end, her having those 2 guys didn't really give her any specific advantages. Um,
Well, worse than that, it didn't seem like she chose to use them. Like, she didn't try to make them advantageous to her, other than, I mean, it's nice to be lying down with Adam, so that's cool. But no advantage other than that. Uh, and then we have Sundra. She has not quite had a storyline, but the only thing I could think of is the longer she goes, with Nate gone, she can say she's the last remaining member of their original tribe. So maybe there's some something she can make of that at the end. But and like for her to make it all the way to the end, like maybe things have happened that she can claim were hers. So that's probably like as it stands right now, there's nothing to point to, but she has the rest of this game to make something happen. Which leaves Yule. Yule. So now, will you choose to remain with Yule, or does anyone else deserve to take his spot?
Oh, no, 1,000% we're sticking with Yule. Mhm, mhm. I believe in him. We're sticking.
Okay. So Yule, so he took a lot of heat these 2 episodes in addition to being blackmailed that, like, "We're not gonna vote for you if you don't vote out Jonathan," which he didn't. Um, he's also been pointed out as a ringleader. He's been a target of these votes, but despite all that, he has the idol and he hasn't had to use it yet, and now he made it public. So, because it's public, that could be good. No one
I
would
don't know
dare
why he
attack
did
him.
that. Why did he
Or
do
it could be
that?
or it could be bad where now, like, all the attention's on him of, like, how do we deal with it?
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I don't I'm sticking with Yul because I'm sticking with him. I also think he's a great guy. I like him. However, why did you have to tell everybody? Who cares? Let Candace dig. Or maybe that's why. Maybe he wanted to seem like a stand-up guy. Like, I'm not gonna make you dig. It's I found it, you know? Maybe that's why. But I'm also like, why? Why? Don't have to
Well
tell her.
well, I wonder how that came off of, like, because 'cause you're right, that could be why, but, like, I wonder if that came off I don't know if it came off across that way, though. Like, it could have
And I
come
don't
across more negative.
yeah. You're right. I don't think it did, actually.
But again, despite all those concerns, like, if we were playing the survivor pool right now, like, you'll unless he gets medevaced, he's not gonna get eliminated next, or unless he gives away the idol. That could happen. Uh, so for betting odds, like, until proven otherwise, I think it's just, like, you continue backing Yule as long as he has the idol. Now, of course, the moment he doesn't have that anymore, I think he is an absolute grave danger.
Yeah, I believe in him. I believe in Yul. He got this. He's very likable. I think a lot of people in the jury would side with Yul right now. Well, besides Candace.
Yeah, probably not. So the jury is Candace and Nate. Then Jenny, who will be a wild card because she was gung ho with Raro,
Yeah, but
but
then they
then
all
like,
voted her out
but
though,
then,
so it's
but
like, why would I
then,
stick with them?
well, not all of them because it was just like a smattering of votes that she had the most because they couldn't even talk about it. There's no time to decide who to vote for. That probably is like the biggest moment. If they had just voted out Jonathan at that point, maybe their group of 5 would have dominated the rest of the game. But because they allowed Jonathan to stay in, we have what we have. Um, but yeah, Jenny, then Rebecca and Brad. So Brad, Rebecca, Jenny, Nate, Candace is the jury right now. And then a bunch of these people that are in the game will be on the jury. Uh, yeah, it's curious what we see. I think when watching for the first time, I would secretly be rooting for Jonathan just to see like the spectacle of him at Trouble Council, final Trouble Council.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen next. Like, I wanna know who's the next guy to go. Is it gonna be Adam? Is it gonna be Jonathan? Parvati? Like, it sounds so easy to say, like, it's gonna be Adam or Parvati, but I low key feel like Jonathan is gonna say something silly, and then they're gonna be like, "Yep, goodbye, Jonathan." Or, like, they're just like, they don't need Jonathan. I mean, even Yule this episode was thinking about taking out Jonathan because they have the numbers, and I think right now without Candace, they even have the numbers even more, so they don't really technically need Jonathan anymore. They take out Jonathan, they still have 4-2, and then they could just slowly pick them out. Bow, bow, bow. Just as Parvati
For sure.
says.
Yep. But all right, so we're inching closer and closer just to the finale. We'll see if we get a good ending or not. But these middle episodes, I think, have been all action and all, I think, strong storylines too across like these pairs of episodes. Uh, so we'll see if we can keep it up. But thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode of Island Life. We will resume next time with episodes 13 and 14. And until then, and until we speak again, ciao.